8-bit joystick.
It is 2024. The hottest mobile game is Tetris for Chromatic. ModRetro put together a brand new official version of Tetris for their new Game Boy Color compatible Chromatic handheld. It is officially licensed by Tetris creator Alexei Pajanov and the Tetris Company. I'm going to go over it in the video and we'll see how it stacks up, following block pun fully intended. So the official name of this game is Tetris for Chromatic, and the only way to buy this game is to purchase the Chromatic handheld video game system. But the cartridge itself works in anything that can play Game Boy Color games. All the FPGA clones and anything that can run Game Boy Color can play it just fine. So if you buy it for the Chromatic, you don't have to exclusively play it in the Chromatic. In fact, I made this video with my analog pocket and the dock. So when you start the game, there are 3 save profiles. So it's cool since you know that you're probably going to be fighting against your past performance and try to get high scores and such. So Tetris for Chromatic has 4 modes. There is Marathon mode, which has you complete 20 levels on modern or 20 levels on, and you can choose between modern and retro Tetris settings depending on how you like to play the game. And then there is the Ultra mode, which will have you play a fixed level for a set amount of time. There is the Sprint mode, which has you try to clear 40 lines as quickly as possible. There is the Endless mode, which will increase difficulty until level 30, and then it lets you try to go on forever. This is the closest to regular Tetris. There is a multiplayer mode, but it can only connect to other versions of ModRetro Tetris for Chromatic. There's also the optional ability to hold a piece, or the ghost piece, which was included in later versions of Tetris and is represented here. And there's also an option of setting the fall speed to modern or retro. If you set the game to retro mode, the full speed at the marathon will only have 20 levels. So they were very wise to not deviate from the expected Tetris controls. It has the exact same button layout as Nintendo Tetris. And I have to say that because I also have Tetris for the Famicom, which I cannot play because my brain is hardwired to Nintendo Tetris. Pressing up is instant drop, and the select button holds the piece in the modern Tetris settings. I mean, I love Hank Williams-san, but my brain just cannot process the button layout of Famicom Tetris by BPS. So, speaking of Hank Williams, I also highly recommend the movie Tetris, which was the dramatized account of the legal and not quite legal battle to bring Tetris to the West. Unfortunately, it's only streaming on Apple TV+, but if you ever make a trial or have a subscription, definitely check it out because it is the best movie about international video game publishing rights in the late 1980s. So I love the fact that it's almost 2025 and Tetris for a Game Boy compatible system is now one of the hottest retro games. This is a very well made, completely awesome version of Tetris that feels new and nostalgic at the same time. It totally deserves this right up its place next to all other versions of Tetris made by other game developers and publishers. So the Chromatic is now out, and it's up to you if you want to decide to buy a Chromatic just to get this version of Tetris, but you know, the Chromatic is actually pretty darn good. So if you're already thinking about getting one, this is an extra cherry on top of that ice cream sundae. You know, you totally should click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video, and let YouTube know that you like this video by hitting that like button. Thanks for watching. This is 8-bit Joystick. Stay awesome. Play retro.